Deep inside a vast, green forest, beyond the tall trees and winding paths, there was a wonderful village called Greenwood Village. It was surrounded by giant trees, colorful flowers, singing birds, and a beautiful sparkling river called Rose River. But Rose River had a very special secret. Every morning, hundreds of beautiful flamingos gathered along its banks. Some stood gracefully in the shallow water as some splashed their wings, and some flew high above the river like beautiful pink clouds. Among the village children were Ayan, Maya, Sami, and Lina. They loved visiting the river after school. One afternoon, the children ran toward the water. "Look, the flamingos are here," Maya shouted excitedly. Suddenly, a flock of flamingos rose from the river. Their long wings opened wide as they flew across the golden afternoon sky. "Wow!" Sami laughed. "They look like flying pink clouds." The children laughed and ran along the riverbank.
But Ayan stopped. He wasn't watching the flamingos like the others. He was thinking. He tilted his head and whispered, "Wait, why are flamingos pink?" Maya looked at him. "What happened, Ayan?"
Ned became quiet. Sami shrugged. "Because they're flamingos?" The children laughed, but Ayan wanted a real answer. Just then, their teacher, Mrs. Sara, came walking down the forest path. She had heard their question.
Children gathered around her. "Do you know the answer?" Maya asked. Mrs. Sara nodded. "Yes, and the secret is hiding in something the flamingos eat." The children looked surprised. "Their food?" Mrs. Sara pointed toward the shallow water. "Watch carefully." The children watched as the flamingos dipped their curved beaks into the water. They were searching for food. Flamingos eat algae and tiny creatures such as small crustaceans, Mrs. Sara explained. "But what does their food have to do with their pink feathers?" Lina asked. Mrs. Sara smiled. "Those foods contain natural pigments called carotenoids," Mrs. Sara said. "They are natural pigments that can create red, orange, and yellow colors. Flamingos get these pigments from the food they eat." Ayan's eyes became wide. "So, their food helps make them pink?" "Exactly." Mrs. Sara continued. "When flamingos digest their food, their bodies process those pigments. Over time, these pigments help give their feathers, skin, and legs their beautiful pink or reddish colors." Ayan looked amazed. "So their beautiful color comes from their diet?" "That's right," Mrs. Sara replied. Then Sami suddenly asked, "So they don't drink pink water?" Everyone burst into laughter. "No," Mrs. Sara laughed. "The river isn't turning them pink. Their food is the important part." Ayan looked at a young flamingo standing beside its mother. It wasn't bright pink, it was mostly grayish and white. "Why isn't that baby flamingo pink?" Ayan asked. Then suddenly, a flamingo flew low over their heads. Whoosh! Its beautiful pink wings moved gracefully through the air. The sunlight touched its feathers, making them glow like rose-colored clouds. Ayan looked up in wonder. "I thought flamingos were pink because they were born that way." Mrs. Sara smiled. "They are special, Ayan, but nature has a wonderful way of creating that beauty." The sun slowly began to set. The sky turned orange and golden. Hundreds of flamingos gathered along the riverbank. Then, all at once, whoosh! The entire flock lifted into the sky, pink wings. Golden sunlight, green forest, sparkling river. For a moment, the children felt as if they were watching a magical painting come alive. Ayan smiled. "Now I know the secret." Maya asked, "What secret?" Ayan pointed toward the flying flamingos. "Flamingos aren't pink because of magic." He paused. "They're pink because nature turns something in their food into something beautiful." Mrs. Sara nodded proudly. "And that's one of the wonderful things about nature. Sometimes, the smallest things we eat can create the most amazing colors we see." The children smiled as the flamingos disappeared beyond the trees. From that day on, whenever they visited Rose River, they didn't just see beautiful pink birds, they saw a story about food, a story about nature, and a story about how even the tiniest things can create something incredibly beautiful.